Well, for those of you that are not horse people, mules, there you go. I like you. For those of you who are not horse people, let me set this up a little bit. You see, when you decide you're going to raise some colts, there's something that you look for in a mare. And especially when you raise mule colts like I do, I look for disposition, for a calmness in the mare, a big, gentle eye. And there are certain things that you have to know about this mare. Some of the questions you may ask is, has she ever had a colt before? Because you want to see what kind of colt she's raised, and a lot of times you'll want to know who the sire was. And you can kind of research this and find out what kind of mare you're buying. And the reason you do that is because if you have a kicky, snotty mare, you're going to get a kicky, snotty colt, plain and simple. Guys, I hate to tell you, but all those good traits are passed on from the mother. I mean, any jackass can be the father. So you look for the best mare that you can find. Well, I was doing that one day, and I had the paper all spread out across the table, and I was looking through the classifieds, and my daughter came out and she says, "Dad, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm looking for a mare," and I kind of told her what I was doing. And she says, "Well, why don't you go online and do that?" Now, this was several years ago when online was just coming about, and I had no idea what she was talking about. She says, "Come here, let me show you." So we went over to the computer, she pulled it up, and she says, "You can go anywhere in the country, type in mares for sale, and it'll pull it up." And she called it browsing. And I became quite proficient at browsing, or so I thought. You see, I was browsing through the classified here upon my computer screen when I came across a peculiar ad, of which the likes I'd never seen. Now, it was describing the horse I'd been looking for and went on in great detail. And from the way the ad was reading, I figured the mare I wanted was for sale. It read, "Spirited filly, good conformation, show quality, well bred. Big, gentle eye, great disposition, but cautious," the ad had said. "A bit flinchy from previous cowboys and has endured some slight abuse. But with proper handling and a gentle hand, this filly can produce. She was born to go the distance, has never been known to quit. Right, smart, good looking, quick learner." Well, it seemed like the perfect fit. You see, I'm in the business of raising top-notch quality mules. And for that, you need the best of mares, as is the rules. Now, as far as the pedigree goes, the ad had never said. But in my mind, I pictured a Poco Bueno, or maybe even Doc Bar bred. So I skipped on down to the bottom and found the return email address. And then and there, I sent my reply. Oh, what a tangled mess. You see, I told her that she sounded just like what I was looking for, but I had a few more questions. If I asked, could she tell me more? But what I hadn't noticed until after I'd hit the send, I'd been browsing in the personal ads. You know, single women looking for men. Now, from the way the ad was reading, it was only natural, of course, for me to assume that instead of her talking about herself, that she'd been talking about her horse. And I'm sure she was somewhat confused when she started reading my reply, because, I told her I was interested in giving this filly a try. But does she have any bad habits, like bite, or kick, or buck? And how much you figure she'll weigh? And will she load in the back of a pickup truck? Is she an easy keeper? Does she require any special type of feed? Is she current on all of her shots? And are her health certificates up to speed? Does she like... Does she like to be petted? Is she responsive to the touch? And I figured by about this time, this lady ain't a liking me all too much. And if she thought I was crazy before, well, the next question just confirmed. When I said, and tell me, how long's it been since you've had this filly wormed? And I can only imagine what happened when this lady read the part where I asked her, oh, has this filly ever been bred? And I'm sure had it been her, she'd have killed me in cold blood when she read the follow-up question. And if so, who was the stud? And I'm sure she did a double take, had to think about it once or twice. When I told her, well, I'd sure like to come by and try her out, so tell me, what's your price? Now, if words could truly kill a man, well, I surely would be dead from her shooting off those expletives in the reply that I read. And I mean, she doesn't even know me. So how would she know if my head's really all that big? And I'm still trying to figure out just what it means to be called a male chauvinist pig. Now, ladies, let this be a lesson. Should you decide to advertise your wares, if you promote yourselves to cowboys, well, don't compare yourselves to mares. Well, thank you.